Today, I want to talk to you about self talk. And I want to start by just saying what I see most of the time. I see people who speak words and phrases like, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't take that. I can't take this. They're stuck in how the world they believe affects them. I'll say things like, Doc, you're stressing me out. Or, man, this person's stressing me out. You're making me this. You're making me that. And it feels right. You're honoring the feelings that you feel from moment to moment. But when we speak them out loud or we think them, we give them a different level of power and a very high level of power when we speak it out loud. So today I just want to go over kind of some of those things and how we need to be speaking inside our brains. I'll see people doing deep survival sighs. It's like trying to make it okay, trying to get through the day. There's the old saying that people live lives of quiet desperation, that people are just barely making it, just barely not going to end it all, and that they're just existing, breathing, heart beating, but not much else. And what have we seen recently? We've seen a lot of fear creeping in this time where COVID has taken over our world. I don't know how you feel, but I've never experienced my brain grabbing onto fear as much as it has in the last 18 months. They've been very difficult from that perspective. You watch the news, you're watching cases rise and deaths rise, and you start to think, man, the world is going to a hell in a handbasket. And all of these things are natural. But repeating them to ourselves just doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve our goals. It doesn't make us take us further. It doesn't make us feel better. So, what's the alternative, right? We could have delusional positivity. And what's that, right? That's, I want a Ferrari by the end of the night. And damn it, I expect to have the keys in my hand. And I am going to drive off with it later today. That's that delusional positivity that really can actually lead us to heartache. So it can't just be that we stop saying these negative things in our mind and we decide, okay, I'm just going to think positive and everything will be okay. We could do this as a team, right? We can say, okay, we're gonna make $40 million this year by the end of the year, and we can repeat it to ourselves hundreds of times. But there's a dissonance there. There's a disconnect between reality and what we know can happen. And so when we're saying those things to ourselves, we can actually cause problems and stress because we know it ain't true. Now, when you're doing those kind of things, what's happening is you're skipping over the process. And we want to have process. We want to make sure that we're steeped in reality, that we know we're going to take the steps to get to our goals. That's what brings in a lot more of the reality. But positivity is better in one way, that we actually stop thinking about negative things, which is really detrimental. It is really destructive to say the negative things that we say in our mind, to say we can't, we need to, I must have this and I don't have it, and this person is preventing me from having it. Our brains really, really, really grab a hold of this. Now, we've talked a lot about how we can combat this with growth mindset. And that really is just self talk. It's just positive self talk. That I believe these things about me, that I believe that I'm a growing human being. I believe that I make mistakes. I believe that being self aware and understanding my mistakes leads to me getting better. And that's a life well lived. There's another way to kind of think about that. And it's putting negativity over here, negative thinking over here, and positive thinking over here, which on both sides, they're not connecting a lot to reality. We take a moment to talk about fear, right? On the one hand, for fear, you are imagining things that could happen and feeling a physiologic response to what could happen. It hasn't even happened yet, and we are taking on the cost and the stress of thinking that it could. This is terrible. We are worried about something that probably won't happen, getting stressed about it, losing sleep over it, and there was no need. So we got our negativity and positivity over here, but in the middle, there's growth mindset and something called neutral thinking. And if you guys are interested, this book talked a lot about it. It's called It Takes What It Takes. It is by Russell Wilson's mental coach, Trevor Moawad. His dad was actually a motivational speaker. And Trevor has evolved his thinking on positive thinking and has kind of come to a different place than his dad settled in, which was, I'm an outstanding student, even if you're a terrible student, right? Trevor says, I know that I need to find out what it takes to be an exceptional student. And I just need to go and do it. And there's only the next step, and the next step. If I want to be in perfect shape, I know I have to work out every day, and I have to eat very well. And there's just the next meal and the next workout, or the next skipped meal and the next workout to get where it is. There's really only that. That's it. It takes what it takes. And I think for a lot of us during this time, during COVID, we've experienced a lot of pain. For me, business was hard. Lucky for me, my family was, compared to a lot of people, was exceptionally healthy through COVID. So I'm very thankful for that. But every day something was changing in the world. Every day I was thinking, what about, do we need money here? Do we need money there? Are we staying profitable? Or a lot of things changing. And of course, being me, I even added on some changes. But it's been very stressful. But for me, I'm taking on a challenge of growing a business, having a stable, loving family, being personally fulfilled, having fun, all of that, seeing my friends. And that's a struggle. It's a battle. And I like what Ray Lewis says. says, all of this leads to one thing, and that's the other side of pain. I really like that. That the other side of pain is glory. And that there really doesn't exist, there's no existence of a great feeling unless there's something beside it called pain and struggle. And so I really like when he says that this great reward that we're all going for, which is fulfillment, happiness, wealth, love, all of those things come through pain and struggle, taking the challenge. So how do we set ourselves in growth mindset? Every day. We've got to take control of our mind. We are going to start saying things to ourselves that are real, that are positive, that are empowering. But first, we have to examine our beliefs. So we want to get to this point where we want to start saying these things to ourselves that are really good. But if you just say to yourself, the best I can do every day is wake up. I'll say it. Some people say, all I got to do is stay black and die. That's a limited amount of life to be lived. There's more than that. So we have to examine those beliefs. What can I do every day? Do you believe that the world is full of opportunity, that the world is abundant, that there's millions of things you could do every day, that there are millions of ways that the day could go just working at Fenton Family Dental, that there's millions of ways that the conversation can go when you're talking to your child or you're talking to your parent or your siblings. And the things that affect our beliefs are the things that we allow into our minds. And the thing that I see most happening in the world is people allowing negativity into their minds. Watching the news, CNN, New York Times, Fox News, whatever it is. This isn't a political statement like a lot of people come with, I don't watch the news because it's fake or anything like that. I'm not coming from that perspective. I'm coming from a perspective of, the things that they're detailing are super, super negative. And we need to make sure we shut that off. We got to shut off social media because it affects our beliefs. It makes us believe that the world is dangerous, scary, is getting worse, which is not. We can have that conversation over some drinks. The world just keeps getting better and better and better. Brian Tracy says we are living in the greatest time in human history. And even my smartest friends don't believe this. But it's true. So on my feed, people are constantly complaining about politics. And these things make us shrink and make us scared. And we need to believe in our deepest being that the world is ours. Life is supposed to be a fulfilling experience. And that what you can do in it is so great and it is unknown. None of us knows how great we can be. We really forget this. We have these beliefs that we're mediocre, that we can't do this, we can't do that. It doesn't mean you're going to go and dunk a basketball or anything like that. But the world, living in the world is a whole lot easier than dunking a basketball or being world class at something. You can have a great life and not even come close to being world class at anything. So I want you to know that before you start down this path of what I'm going to ask you to do. I'll give you an example. Most docs that I meet, most believe there's no way they could do $100,000 a month. just don't even see it. And sometimes, especially when I was doing more of the interviewing and things, I would tell them, I worked at an office and the lowest doctor was doing $100,000 a month. And I can tell you personally, I was 1 year out of school. And so you got to open your mind to the possibilities of what you can do. So if you have beliefs about your greatness and you can find some example of someone doing way better than you on a certain thing, and you ask them what they do or how they did it, at least you can get there. That can be done. And it ain't because they're smart and you're not, or you work in the Silver Spring office, or I'm in Arizona, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Most of that is total bullshit. And I've heard so many people make these excuses, grown people, and simply isn't true. So once you have the belief that you can achieve, now I want you to grab a pen. I want you to grab a pen, and I want you to know that your pen is super powerful. And I want you to start writing affirmations. Affirmations in very active forms. I want you to say, I get up early every day to plan my day. I have great days because of it. And I'm constantly acting out of love and for me, it's like something like I act constantly out of love for my employees. My life is abundant because of it. Go, go, go. Keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. Use these to describe the person you are willing to become to have the life you want. That's alignment. No BS positivity, none of that nonsense. You just have to make sure it's all in alignment with love, kindness. It has to be in harmony with the laws of the world. Now you take in maybe an hour to write down these things, these 1, 2, 3, this what I'm willing to do, what I want, how I feel, where I am because of that. I do this. I am feeling this. I get this because of this. A constant circle. Now I want you to grab your phone. What you'll do with your phone is you'll read those out loud with passion, vigor, so you can believe it. Then I want you to listen to yourself and repeat it back out loud. Now, some days you're just going to be sitting in your headphones listening to yourself because there's people around and you don't want to be the crazy person. But I want you to repeat it out loud when you can. Hearing yourself say those things out loud is so amazingly powerful. So powerful. You believe you. So, as you go through the day today, I want you to monitor your self-talk. That's self-awareness, right? What am I speaking to myself? Am I saying I'm so stupid I forgot the cart? Or am I saying I can't take this shit? Or am I saying, let me go make this a better day. Let me think about what's possible. What is showing up in your head? Then when you get home tonight, do this tonight. You're hearing me say it right now. You'll never be more motivated than now to do it. Get a piece of paper, get a bunch of pieces of paper. It took me like 7 pages to write out mine. Write those things, feel the positivity, then record it in your phone and listen to it back to yourself. And if you say it slow enough, you can repeat it back out. You say it yourself, then you repeat it. You hear yourself saying it, and then you repeat it. That's how we start building things. That's how we do it. So go with this. Any questions about this? Let me know.